Hello everyone. How are you doing today? So excited to be able to connect today. Let's see here who is connecting with me today. And just in case, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Let's see here. Everything is like moving today, but this is a good timing so that we can have everything working here as well, right? And so that you can see me as well and you can hear me as well. Please let me know that you can do both, right? You can hear me, you can listen as well, or hear me. So we are here pretty much today. I title this today's video, the title of this video is the communication in the stroke journey. As many of you know, we are supporting the journey before and or after a stroke as a brain wellness coaching practice. So this is very important to talk about this topic and few areas, right? Few factors that I would love to reinforce in this video today. So the first thing is the timing, right? When we are in the stroke journey, time is a huge important factor to take in consideration for so many reasons. Number one, depending on the event, depending on the occasion, right? Or the situation, communication plays the time in communication plays a big importance, right? From the beginning, right? From history, from a hemorrhagic experience. That is, where we reinforce and talk about as well. Like our brain has seconds, minutes, right? Like minutes from seconds from micros, right? So there are a time frame for our brain to keep the oxygen in our body, right? Those cells need oxygen, right? So this is one of the important factors to take in consideration when it comes to communication, okay? So the first factor to cover today is time. Okay, the reason behind it, right? That here in Living Without Limit with Karina Seda, we reinforce a lot, and we are going to cover that in the other sections or factors under this topic. But the first one to reinforce is the timing. Okay, we need to consider what is happening, the situation, the factors. One example that I provided is taking consideration the time frame you have in an event where there is bleeding, right? And we need to take in consideration the time frame where the human body sustain the oxygen in the brain, right? And then we can talk about other things in factors, such as depending of the area as well, and so on. But pretty much I want to emphasize the importance of timing, okay? The second thing I wanted to reinforce today is what I call complete communication. What I mean, pretty much here we have the opportunity to work with different cultures, right? Here we interact daily basis with different cultures, and it is very important to take in considerations the differences as well, right? And how we can communicate in a way where we all parties can be in the same page, okay? And here, one of the things I love about the culture, right, the Hispanic culture, is that when we talk about and we share the why, the reason behind things, right? What it does is that it overcomes assumptions. It supports the parties, it supports each individual in each scenario so that we are all in the same place, right? In the same page, so the communication can be complete for both parties. and avoiding, right, what is called the assumption and the meanings cultures gave to particular scenarios at particular events in history or in their events, right? How things occur at that moment, at that second, at that micro second or moment, right? So it is very important when we are talking about in the stroke journey that we provide and communicate by its entire aspect, okay? Few things here as well, right? And here I keep supporting that why, the reason behind it. It is very important as well to communicate with the same reason. When we are in the stroke journey, it is a topic that we are talking about a life or death experience. So we take in consideration the seriousness, right? How serious is this topic navigating before or after a stroke, right? So it is very important to share and educate, right? One of the things we are going live and in this platform, I love the opportunity that we have to educate, to create awareness about these topics with the purpose of creating that awareness about the importance in these different fields or in the different careers, right? The different people who are using this platform. Very important to mention that as well. So let's continue. There are those different factors, right? So let's put it together. And I think that I covered two in one. What I mean, let's recap. We have been covering the importance of communication in the stroke journey. As I mentioned before, we are talking and covering before and or after the stroke journey. Okay. Number one, taking consideration time. Okay. It is very important to take in consideration the reasons, the why, right, as well. In the second aspect or factor, I cover what is included, taking in consideration culture, right? And inside the culture, I cover the third important factor, which we call it a complete communication, meaning like it is important to communicate the other part, right? And an example I was giving in the third factor is what we see very often in a Hispanic culture, right? That is where we see a lot of, we communicate the why as well. For some cultures, they see it like something extra, like maybe it is not needed. But here in a stroke journey, I am raising the awareness how important it is for all parties to be in one page so that we can avoid assumptions with the same reasons of first factor. Time is important. The stroke journey is a topic where we are talking about lives. Okay, we take in consideration, it is very important how serious it is to talk about and create this awareness with the community, with providers, taking in consideration different cultures, but as well as the importance of what we are working on, how we are navigating the stroke journey, how we are educating in this field, right? So pretty much there are other factors, but I wanted to jump in and cover these few factors that I am seeing very often nowadays with the things that are showing up in social media and this other aspect, right? In our world, like in the stroke journey, brain injury, and these other topics as well, right? The before the stroke as well, the journey. It is very important to cover this. If you have any questions, if anything come up, maybe new things, experience that you had in the stroke journey, because of where you see the different ways of communicating, right? Maybe things that were missing, that if you have that before, maybe things could be different for your journey, and these other things. It is very, very important to raise awareness about the importance of a complete communication, the importance of taking in consideration the different cultures as well, and how serious it is to avoid assumptions in the stroke journey because of the time. And we can keep talking about this topic because the communication is very important in so many areas, right? When it comes to wellness, we can talk about the different areas in our lives, right? If it is relationship, if it is the communication with your providers, if it is communication to regarding a career, if you are pursuing a career after the stroke journey, if you are like working around staying healthy so that you can move away from these other factors or risks, right? Sometimes we have that opportunity where we can move away from what we don't want happening in our life, if that makes sense. So it is very important to take consideration these factors. If you want to share any comments, if you want to connect with us, what I did on this video, I put a link for our most recent presentation. This is a great way to connect, maybe stay informed. If you want to join me as well in those presentations, it is a great opportunity to go to the link below. If you experience anything, because I know it involves technology nowadays, I want to invite you to post a comment below. This is another way we have to communicate in this platform. Post a comment below or take advantage about going to that link as well and stay in touch. I hope you all have a great day, a great week as well, and stay tuned. Bye-bye. Another thing I want to do before ending this, if I have any comments here as well, I will be replying to the comments as well in the comments. If you are watching this video later, feel free to post those comments as well. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.